Hi everyone, I'm Tammy with Gare. I'm here today to show you how to clean up your piece after you've painted it. It's always best to clean it up after it's dry. I used to work in a pottery studio and I managed it for a few years. And when people would come in and paint and do classes, or they would come in and just paint pieces on their own, we would always show them easy ways to clean up their piece. And there's just a couple of tips and tricks that are really helpful. These 3 items are actually my favorite 3 tools to work with. They're 2 little square brushes and a wooden scrapey tool, and these work magic for cleaning up your piece. And I'm going to show you that with this owl mug in just a bit. So we're going to paint this piece, or I'm going to start to paint this piece, and once it dries, I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks of how to clean up the piece easily. So I'm just going to deliberately put some brown on the yellow here for the purpose of the video, so I can show you how to clean that up. Okay, just to be dramatic, I'm just going to put a big chunk right on his belly. Like, oh no, it's okay. It's all going to be okay. I'm going to be able to fix it. So now we're going to let this dry because we want it to be completely dry before we clean it up. So now this piece is dry, and I'm going to show you what I would use to clean up the areas that need cleaning. So this tool, this is the scraping tool, and we do have metal scraping tools. I prefer to use the wooden one because it's a little more forgiving and a little more gentle on the piece. And when I use it, instead of going straight in to scrape something, I always hold my hand to the side so that it just kind of gently scrapes away the paint, and you can just be really gentle, and for the most part the color underneath will stay on, and you can just gently scrape away the top layer of paint. This part here that's over the yellow, you can go in with this brush, dry it off a little bit, and you can see that you can get a nice close cleanup with it. It's nice because it goes around corners really nice. You can use the scraping tool as well if you want. It's really preference. Okay, so for something like this spot on the stomach where there's a lot of room around it, I would use the sponge to wipe that off. You just want to make sure you just wring out all the water really good, because if you don't, the water will go all over your piece. So you can see how you can get that off without messing up too much around the other parts. So when this dries, you can then just put on your coats of yellow, a couple of coats of yellow to touch that up. So another great thing I love about this brush is using it to clean up around a handle. So if you wanted to paint a mug and do the handle a different color, it's hard to paint around the handle and not get color on it. So I use this brush for cleaning up around the handle, and it will just take the paint off. And again, you can get a nice tight cleanup right to the edge of the mug with this brush. So I'm just dipping it in the water, and I'm dabbing it on the paper towel so there isn't too much water on the brush. And then I'm just going around the handle to take the paint off. So even if I wanted to paint this handle white, I would be able to. This is actually mochaccino that I used, so it does leave a little bit of a stain because it's just on the straight bisque, but as long as you do the 3 coats of whatever color you're going to do the handle, it will cover it just fine. If you use this technique with a lighter color, it comes off completely and doesn't stain the bisque at all. But either way, this will work.